wondered why the symbol for lead on the periodic table is Pb? It stands for the Latin word plumbum, which in fact is the Latin word for lead. And then what I wanted to tell you, how does this come into play with medicine, is through an author named Vitruvius, who was an architect and author in the 1st century BC, so he was a contemporary with Julius Caesar. He writes an amazing work called De Architectura, and in it, he warns us about the dangers of lead. He says, very specifically, that lead is bad for the human system. This is in the 1st century before Christ, right? And he's saying instead of using lead for water delivery systems for human consumption, that you should use clay or earthen. He calls earthenware pipes or earth-made pipes to deliver water for human consumption, which I think is fascinating, right? Because we've had lead-based paint over time that has been fairly recently outlawed as being something bad for the human system. We have, in Britain, when Mad Hatters or haberdashers used to make hats, and they would do the rim of the hat would be lead-based. Some kind of a joke or a saying about Mad Hatters, or someone as mad as a hatter, had to do with that lead that came into contact with humans, right, through their forehead. Then we have all the water problems in Michigan and Louisiana and other states that use lead pipes. So I'm just so curious about how the ancient world knew so much, right, about medicine and human health that has been ignored over centuries, and that we still use it, and it affects our systems today. So I had the pleasure of going to Turkey at one point, and I saw an ancient apartment complex where the pipes of this ancient apartment building were made actually of clay instead of lead. And I thought, this is really cool. They had it together. As long ago as 2,000 years. I have a lot more I would like to say about Vitruvius, but this is just a short, just to tell you that he already knew that lead was bad for the human system, and he writes about it and warns us about it in De Architectura. Well, I hope you learned something new about medicine in the ancient world today. It's one of my favorite topics, so thanks for stopping by.